Anyway, where was I? Brief pause. Although, we'll have to see if I can edit those together. You may simply see it from this point on if I'm unwilling or unable to do it. So really it's a matter of getting some wood. I suppose I could expand that cavern off that way. So I seem to recall last time I mentioned being able to do, maybe that was a previous attempt. I don't know. If I can find myself some beetroots. There's beetroot seeds. Dirt. So we will put this here. 3, 4, 2. Hey, I found a zombie. Lucky me. See, didn't get some coal. Don't we all desire to find zombies? I think that the Caverns 2 zombies actually have an expanded detection range. I don't know if it's specific to them or just the mod pack in general. Let's close this up a little bit. Right, I was intending to do this as I opened it up. But they seem to be able to find me from a lot further away, which is somewhat inconvenient. But I suppose if it keeps it exciting, then who knows, right? Oh, spruce and rubber. That's very helpful. So let's, didn't I get another chest? No. So having never done this before, I'm probably going to screw things up, get sound quality bad, badly done. I imagine that there's always room for improvement, so... Oh, in case you care, that is the skin I'm currently using. It's a free one. I just downloaded it. I keep intending to find myself a more permanent, customized skin. Maybe make one myself or have somebody make one for me. But I just never. I hadn't needed to care about it until this point. 7, 8. Let's fix the NBT data on this. So I may progress along that a little bit further. We'll see. Another thing that I need to do is I need to get some water. We'll make 2 buckets. Iron is not exactly going to be difficult to find. So what I'll probably do is try to find... That is a Kavenic skeleton. They are exciting. They do fire a lot. They have a lot of hit points. Their armor is really solid. However, their damage is not significant. Honestly, the worst thing about them is their knockback, actually. And I'm hoping to... There we go. So now the knockback won't matter. And with this food up here, this bar, anything here, it automatically, you automatically eat it. Right. So let's grab this. Now if I can just find another source. If I take that out, he should not be able to get to me. Ooh, that's tin. Tin actually turns out to be surprisingly useful. So they shouldn't be able to get to me from that side, theoretically. I should actually be relatively safe here. Some copper. So those crystals are from Future Pack. I don't have a lot of experience with Future Pack. It looks like that spawned in and then it settled. So that's kind of a thing. Now I will tell you guys right now, typically I play with keep inventory and mob griefing off. That's not how I am currently playing though. So we will see. I may turn it back on depending on how challenging it I feel it's getting for me. As I said, or will say, probably have said again, something. I'm relatively lazy as a player. I like to automate things. And yet I hate step assist, which is strange, I guess, if I'm lazy. So let's get some more bricks. I half thought that that was going to... Alright, now we have water. So what would make this faster? Sand. So I've got all that appetite. If I can get some sand, it's basically bone meal. So I'm going to generally make this my farming area. Need to chisel really quick. Or fairly slow, depending on how that goes. Get these in there. Crap, it's the wrong one. So, in 1.7, I know you could use the, let's pull one out really quick. You could use the chisel to pick up obsidian. In 1.12, that is no longer possible. But there's still some really cool stuff you can do with chisel. I'm quite fond of chisel, actually. So, as far as getting to the surface is fairly easy. You can go all the way up to bedrock and make a giant trek and stuff like that. And I'm sure that there are benefits to that. I'm not positive as to what all of them are. Just kind of iron is plentiful. After I get through these stone picks, I'm probably just going to make iron picks after this, just for speed reasons. But at this point, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of vein mining. And you can see that actually goes through them fairly rapidly. Ah, emeralds. Oh, stuff. So it's getting quite dangerous down here. I can hear spiders off in the distance. I have no idea if you guys can hear them. We'll see what I end up doing about them. Probably not much. I do need... Oh, handy. I was looking for these. Randomite, as I've said before. Ooh, dark oak. So, sadly with dark oak you need 4 saplings. But once you have 4 saplings, it tends to, you have no trouble getting more wood and such that you need. Like, it produces quite a lot very rapidly. Let's make drawers for gravel. And andesite, I believe that is. So, with mine colonies, there are a number of different eventually I will actually need to move all this. I could just start moving it now, I guess. There are a number of different buildings that you can make. So I don't know whether you guys have seen mine colonies before. I'm actually quite fond of the mod. It is very hard on machines. It's quite intensive as far as that goes. Honestly, anything with lots of movement like that tends to be fairly hard on machines. Oh, that was exciting. Prospercraft recommends that, oh, that gave me resistance, that you run this pack with at least 6 gigs of RAM. I think I'm running it with 8 or 10. When I've run this on my laptop, which I've also run with 8 gigs, it has had trouble. Like, I've had some pretty serious FPS drops. So those were fissures, if you're not familiar with them. They come from caverns too. And they give you a basic, or a random potion effect. There we go. And it is random. Like, you could get anything. I have gotten poisoned, hunger, resistance, absorption, regeneration, night vision. You know, you name it, you can get it. They only last for about 30 seconds, and the potion cloud effect that you saw lingering it also only lasts about 30 seconds. Oh, this is going to be messy. Do I have a wooden one? Just use this. this nonsense up before I... Alright, so one of the benefits to the magnet mode is even if your inventory is full, the blocks will still follow you on the ground, much like they do in Botania. For the Botania magnet, I'm unfamiliar as to whether other magnets will do that. I'm sure that it's probably just a generic thing. And so we'll move all of these out here because, as I said, I do intend to turn this into a spawner, a useful spawner. Because bone meal, skeletons. So a note, I do not use the Twitch launcher, so updating it can be more challenging. Well, not more challenging, just slightly more work. I have to copy across a bunch of files and stuff like that. Every time I update a packet, it actually just makes a new instance of the entire pack, and then I have to copy files across. Sometimes I do it right, occasionally I don't. So hopefully it does it right when I have to do that. I will be continuously updating my my mine colonies. He puts out an update sometimes every couple of hours, sometimes, you know, in a couple of days. He just put out a new stable beta yesterday. So I imagine most packs are going to go to that. Honestly, I'm really hoping that he gets some of the new blocks that he, you know, some of the new buildings. I want to see that forge working. There's a so here's the buildings. So bakery was actually fairly new to me. I wasn't familiar with it. The same with the restaurant. One of these is a restaurant. Both of those are fairly cool. The bakery is still a little bit weird. She apparently is very fond, or your baker is very fond of chocolate chip cookies. So it's really challenging to get them to not make chocolate chip cookies. Forge is not implemented. I'm assuming that that's basically, they'll take ores of whatever kind and smelt them into ingots. Maybe he'll make tools. So all the standard stuff. Quarry, you know, I'm guessing that that's just a matter of collecting cobblestone and stuff like that, maybe andesite and things. Granite. I haven't used any of the shepherd's hut, the cowboy's hut, swineherder's hut, chicken herder's hut before. We'll see how that goes. I also haven't done the smeltery or the composter's hut. In fact, I've never even heard of those. I've never heard of the library either. So we'll see what happens with that. last couple of times I did it, I went through this. I actually did the um, dark oak village, which is very cool in my mind. It's basically all tree houses and stuff. It was a little problematic as far as the builder kept going out of the tree hut to go build things, which is very dangerous. Now, amusingly, the builder never died. They were not hostile to the other mobs, so mobs didn't attack them. Whereas my guards, they died all of the time, and I kept losing happiness because the guards kept dying. And they just never lasted long enough to level up, which was relatively awkward. I think that we need to... Okay, so space is an issue. I'm actually going to expand off that way, so I'm hoping, or planning, I'll just put all of that in there for the moment. Shovel, there it is. Right, quests. So, I seem to recall that one actually, this one actually requires stone bricks as well. Remember how I was talking about how cool chisel was? Maybe you don't. I remember it. If you take the chisel and you put in some bricks, boom, 11 stone bricks. Quest completed. Which gives me some iron tools, which is very handy, which gives me that advancement. We need iron armor, which is slightly less good than the sapphire stuff I'm using now. So I will probably make it and then hold on to it because why not? I will organize this mess later. Okay. So, there we go. We'll put this here. Pants, shirt, cap, shoes. So I've got that. Next step is this. Now, I have cheats turned on. And one of the reasons that I have cheats turned on is, let me complete these quests. I guess I'll take the Coke. One of the reasons that I have chests turned on, cheats, sorry, my English is full of fail, is it had better questing is currently having problems with detecting the kill quests. So when you kill something, it doesn't necessarily... Oh my gosh, because I didn't complete the quest beforehand. It's thinking that I didn't do it, which is quite silly. Alright, well, I guess we'll need another sword anyway. Well, we won't, but we'll just tell ourselves that. So, it wants me to kill 5 skeletons. I'm going to do a foolish thing and demonstrate to you that the kill quests do not work. So, we're actually going to make a door. The tree is not growing. I can bone meal it if it becomes problematic. Oh, I've got bricks. It's a terrible idea. So, having done that, you saw that I killed a skeleton. This is clearly a vanilla spawner. Does not show up. So, I'm going to try and I'll kill 5 now. And then I am going to, I've killed 2 or 3 zombies. When I kill a couple more, I'm just going to go through and complete this quest. And then I will probably do the same for these other quests. This is basically killing zombies, killing skeletons, killing creepers. I managed to complete these. It just didn't like this one. So we'll see what happens. So I think we'll call it here. It's 27 minutes on this recording. I was actually trying for 20, but, I'm not the best at keeping track of time. I'll probably have to set alarms or something. Hey, thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more. Have a good night.